You're listening to the Master Your Brand podcast, the show that's created for business owners just like you who want to elevate, grow, and expand their business knowledge. We chat about various topics in business, branding, marketing, and even creativity. So let's jump in and listen to today's episode with me, your host, Joyletta Shea. Well, hey there, and welcome to this episode where we're going to jump in and talk about mission. So, remember, we're on this journey of this series of You're the Master Builder. And so, we're gaining tools and I would say pieces in building your brand and ways to master it, whether you have just started in your building or you are on this journey already and you want some tips and tools to master. So, I love talking about certain elements of branding, and mission is one of them. I feel like it's kind of your North Star where it's giving a little bit of direction, but at the same time, it is the reason why you exist on the earth as a brand. Like, what is your purpose? What do you do and why? And sometimes when we think about this, people start things and they're like, I'm just going to start a business and they want to sell products and make money. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, but if you want to build something that is lasting and memorable and something that is a legacy that you can leave behind that lasts years after years, there are a few elements that I feel like you definitely need, and a mission is one of them. Now, we've talked about naming, we have talked about who your brand is for. And so through this process, you can do mission before figuring out the name, and you can figure that out also before or after, who is your brand for. All of these pieces I feel like can be done at any point as long as you have them all done, that you're able to move forward and have, I feel, a successful or properly foundation for your brand. Now, when we think about mission and why we exist as a brand, or what do we do and why do we do it, it's important to kind of define these things, because if you don't know what you're doing or why you're doing it, you can get a little bit lost in the process. And I think sometimes, and maybe you have experienced this as being on this journey for a year, 2 years, 3 years, or maybe you're listening to this and you've been in business for maybe 20 years. You may have gotten lost along the way, and maybe you were like, man, I really don't know what I'm doing anymore or why I'm doing this. So setting this mission and creating this is, you can always go back to it. That doesn't mean that over the years, that as you maybe tweak some things or pivot, that your mission kind of stays the same. You can upgrade your or redo your mission at any point, but you want to make sure that if you have communicated your mission, that can be updated on your website in the different things that you do digitally. You can even announce it like, we have found that we've done XYZ for X amount of time, and we find that our mission is shifting a little bit. Nonprofit organizations, sometimes that happens. You have businesses that may have shifted with working with one type of people, and then they end up wanting to work with other types of people, or whatever the reasons are. Your mission is something that can change. So I want to get that out the way, because maybe somebody will have that question as we were talking, that you can do that, because sometimes things change, visions change, just businesses change, your heart changes for what you want to do. And so that your mission is kind of like the heartbeat of your business, and it can change. Sometimes circumstances causes it, and the one that I feel like will always make a determining factor is God may change some things, and now that mission has to align with where you are now, or where you will be in the future in that moment. So when we think about what we do, and, if you have the ability to sit down and jot some notes, think about what is it that you really do at the core of it. What is it you do? And maybe there's some subset things that go along with that you do. that play a factor in that. And then on the other side of that, why do you do it? Like, those are the two biggest things. Like, your mission, like, you have a purpose on the earth, which means, why do you exist? What is it that you are called or supposed to be doing? And that is pretty much your mission in life, is to accomplish that, to do that, to move that forward. And in a couple of the other episodes, I mentioned, one of the ways that you can look at your brand as a person. So, what is the mission of that person? Why do they exist? I made this fictitious person, Nova Davis, and she is talking to other people about what she does and who she is. And so, here's an opportunity to insert why Nova Davis is on this earth and what is she doing to change or make an impact. That's a way you can look at it too. Why, or what is it that I want to make an impact, or how in this world, right? So I think this is important to kind of begin the process of creating this mission. And I create um create brands that are centered around a concept. And sometimes your mission, a missional concept, a mission driven brand, what does that look like? What is the mission of what you want to accomplish? And so there's a few out there. As an example, for instance, Tesla wants to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. Can you see that in the things that they do, the things that they say, the messaging, all of the stuff that they do within their company is all set towards this mission, which is to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy. So, what is your mission? And everything else kind of floats around, not floats, but is part of this. And what you're doing is every piece, from brand identity to marketing to social to whatever it is, your conversations with people, your messages, all of that stuff is supporting this main mission to accomplish. And if you want to even break it down more, is goals, or the main goal that you're trying to reach. So we can make mission maybe a little bit synonymous with a goal or objective of what it is that you are really wanting to do. It can still be, you want to, really make a certain amount of money to live a certain lifestyle for your personal mission. So when it comes to your business, it could be, our mission is to make great products that change lives of kids every day. Or your mission is to build homes where families can feel safe and secure, and they can have for a lifetime or pass down to their families. What is the mission that you want to accomplish? Now, are you on mission? So let's talk about that. If you are already on this journey and you are, selling products, or you are providing services, are you on mission? There's another term, are you on brand? Now, it's a little bit different. Are you on brand? Meaning, like, what's the messaging? What's the tone? Is that represented in everything? What's the visual identity? Is that represented? So when it comes to mission, are you on mission? Is what you're doing supporting that mission and driving it forward? Are you doing the things to let people know without maybe saying the mission? Are we doing these things in order to drive it forward? With even Squarespace, like, they've changed a few things over the years with their messaging, but they really just want to empower people with creative ideas to succeed. So people build a website to support the idea that they have so they can succeed in the marketplace. There's so many other missions out there, and I challenge you to go look at some of the people that you encounter, the brands that you buy from, the the brands that you may support. What is their mission in life as a brand? And so do you connect with that? Do you connect with their mission? Because what happens sometimes is we're supporting missions that we don't know we're supporting when we're putting our dollars behind it. So is there missions out there that you're putting dollars behind that you might not necessarily agree with? And, for the sake of cancel culture these days, you might say something and people don't like it and they want to cancel you. But these are things that are just, I feel, wisdom to think about and to look into. You may not agree with something. Do you want to put your dollars and support behind it? Does it really matter for you? People have values, and we'll talk about that in another episode. But what is that mission? And what that really boils down to is your dollars equal helping them drive their mission forward. And if you don't want to help them drive that mission forward, then you might want to pull your dollars. And what that means is, what is your mission, and who actually connects with that mission, that knows that they want to support the mission of what you do, and now they're putting dollars behind it. A lot of what we do is we speak with our money, and we do speak with our words and what we say, but sometimes we speak things and our money is doing the opposite, and vice versa. So I know that was a little tidbit, but I feel like it's important to know that whether you are engaging with different brands and you're putting your support to a mission that they're doing, the same thing is happening with your business and what the mission is. And do people support that? Now, sometimes the mission isn't something so much that somebody can say, oh, I absolutely believe in that. And they may not want to engage in that. So when you think about that, and as you are defining and you are kind of refining your mission, and you may go back and say, you know what, I have realized that what I'm doing now doesn't necessarily evoke my mission. And so there's either two things that need to happen. Your mission needs to either get in line with what you're doing, so you rework that mission and then that aligns and now what you're doing supports it, or what you're doing needs to align with your mission statement. And that means how small or great is that? Which one is going to be the easiest to do? Shift that mission statement to what you're doing because it's not aligned, or is it really shifting some of the things that you're doing to really align with that mission? And I know that I get very, very, I would say, emphatic about missions because they are our purposes to what we're doing. It helps us with why we're doing. It really defines the things that we really should be doing in our business and supporting that. So I challenge you to take a look at your mission, take a look at what you're doing, take a look at what you're doing, and does your mission align with those things? And if not, find a way to kind of align them. And if you feel lost in this process and you're like, things aren't working, why are they not working? Maybe the mission and what you're doing isn't lining up, and now your mission is helping you stay focused on where you're going and why you're doing it and what you're doing. So if you haven't read your mission statement in a while, go back and read it, think about it, mull over it, look at the other aspects of what you're doing, and just make sure that they're aligned and that you are pursuing the things in your business that are going to get you to where you want to be, that ultimate goal and objective. And take a few moments to write out your mission. If you don't have one, think about that. What do you do? Why do you do it? And kind of put that together. And you can even come up with a statement, a simple statement that represents the mission of your brand. Thanks for tuning in to the Master Your Brand podcast. I hope that something in today's episode encouraged you, elevated, and or even grew you. If you like today's episode, make sure you give it a like and hit the subscribe button so you can get notified of new episodes. Well, until next time, you are the master of your brand and the captain of your business.